Hello and welcome back. It is already the 5th week that I am doing my 220 sustainable days to becoming a full-time author challenge, and it's time to dive in. It's Monday afternoon and I'm ready to get to work. So if you watched my last vlog, you know it was cut a bit short because we ended up being out of town Friday through Sunday. So we went to visit my sister-in-law and niece, and then back to my husband's hometown to see parents, grandparents, all that stuff. And there was a lot of driving and a lot of heat. I got a little sunburned on the arm that was closer to the passenger window. It was a really nice time. It's nice to be home, and we're like tired and kind of reacclimating, and I'm excited to get back to work. I took those 3 days fully off of work, didn't bring my computer or anything. I did find that sitting in the car staring out the window, I got some nice ideas. That always tends to happen. I didn't write any of them down, so we'll see how many of them make the cut and like manage to be carried into future works. But yeah, it's Monday afternoon, it's about 1 o'clock, and I made my schedule for the week already, so I'll just give you a little sneak peek. I did accidentally put check boxes on Saturday and Sunday for like marketing tasks, so I assigned myself a couple extra tasks just because I already had the boxes there. But yeah, I found recently on Mondays I've been giving myself like the highest word count goal, and that's largely because I was trying to front load the week in case we were gone for the weekend. But it wasn't really working out that well. So today I have 1,000 words, also an EFT session, and then working on batching some Instagram stories. And that's it. That's all that's really going on there. I'm going to keep going with the boundaries I put in place last week of being done with work by 6 p.m., whether I've done everything or not, because that is a priority for me moving forward, especially in summer. 6 o'clock is generally like when I want to go out and take a little dip in the pool because the sun is no longer oppressive and, you know, gonna roast my skin, but I can just, it'll still be hot enough that that will feel really great. So yeah, that's the plan. Be done by 6. Do as much as I can during the day to, you know, feel good about my accomplishments at 6 p.m. And we will see how the week goes. So, yeah. Hello there. It's just about noon on Wednesday, so I'm checking in again. I didn't come back on camera at all yesterday. Yeah, no, not at all. I just did some little updates throughout. I spent some time working on Instagram content yesterday, which took longer and more energy than I expected. And so that ended up being it. I did a tiny bit of writing and realized I just didn't have it in me, didn't have the gas to manage my full word count goal for the day. So I stopped that early, still managed to prioritize stopping at 6, even though sometimes, especially when I'm not getting the work done before then, there's guilt that comes up. So that's an interesting thing to kind of wrestle with and notice, like, is this justifiable? You know, is the guilt happening because I really haven't given 100% of what I'm able to give, which maybe is only 20%. So yeah, that was interesting. I am having to remind myself that like the days that I took off did take a lot of energy out of me, especially being in the car for, you know, upwards of 4 hours a day, getting some really intense heat. But today I'm back at it. I ended up not doing my scripting journal prompt and doing EFT instead. I'm just feeling sort of this like perfect storm cocktail of like stress and hormones and heat, all these things kind of tangling together to, yeah, create some frustration, some anxiety, just a variety of things. And so in that instance, I do find EFT is a more helpful tool for me, that scripting my ideal day, or it wouldn't be ideal, it would be today as an ideal day, it just felt too removed from reality, you know? So yeah, that was good. I'm going to probably edit a video now. Part of my frustration has been that I'm ready to be back to work with my other job, but there hasn't really been sufficient work available in order to, you know, get the hours in that I want to get in. So I have to remember now how to pivot, how to task switch, and get back into my writing related and YouTube related other tasks. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do now. Hello, checking in on Thursday afternoon. It's a little after 2 and I'm getting ready to do my weekly co-working session with my mom at 3. Yesterday I ended up writing about 500 words and kind of, again, running out of gas, you know, and cutting slack, but also kind of doing that wrestle dance between like, should I feel guilty about this or should I actually give myself a break? And we had to go run some errands and it was so hot in the car that I think my husband and I both had like an aha moment about, of course we're as tired as we are because we spent a lot of time in this car and it was really hot while we were gone. So yeah, I did about 500 words. That was great progress still. This morning I got up early again and I actually did some dictation. So I got about 500 words then as well, which means today's goal is 1,000, so only 500 more to go. And during my co-working session with my mom, I will probably work on Pinterest and also getting an email ready to go out because tomorrow is that big free book blast. And yeah, I feel like there's not much else. While I'm doing the Pinterest stuff, I need to gather some inspiration for one of the cover designers I'm working with and just keep moving forward on all the things. So yeah, that's it. That's the update. All right, it's Friday afternoon and let's see, I don't think I crossed the last one off yet, but I did just finish the last thing for today, which was editing a video, and it's now scheduled to go live tomorrow. So my video editing schedule is a little shuffled up because last Friday we left so early in the day, so I didn't do my second edit of the week. Anyway, all that to say, today's video edit was for a longer video, one of these. And it was really great that my word count goal for the day was short. So it made it really easy to balance all of those things. And I think that's something important to be aware of going into future weeks. So when I have more intensive, you know, video edits, or if I need to create a lot of new Instagram content on a day, that takes a lot of creative energy. So maybe don't expect so much other creative energy that day, like a ton of writing. So this week, my big word count goals, 2 of them are happening tomorrow and the next day. So we'll see how that goes. I am still feeling a little bit low energy, so not gonna wanna overdo it. But overall, I feel great that things are getting done. I feel like I am managing all of these projects quite nicely and not feeling overworked or burdened on a day-to-day basis. So it really feels like I'm doing like small, doable boxes to check off each day. And I really like that. That's very much like the goal. So it's great that that's how things are feeling right now. So I am about to step away from this desk for the rest of the day, go cool off, go jump in the pool, go read a book or knit a sweater vest or something, and just relax a bit. So I'll check in with you again soon. Well, hello, I'm back checking in on Sunday afternoon. Just finished working for the day on my other job, and I didn't check in here yesterday. Interesting stuff. I got really tired yesterday. It was definitely getting into that like hormone dip sort of time, so I didn't do anything writing related. I did some dictation in the morning. I haven't even transcribed that dictation yet. So that there wasn't a ton of progress yesterday, and I felt fine about it. I felt really good to be honoring that no working after 6. And then yeah, today I have gotten a bit of work done for my other job. And again, haven't done anything writing related and won't, because now it's 5 o'clock and yeah, the energy isn't there. But what's interesting, what has emerged as the theme for this week, it's kind of funny because I guess I don't know what the theme is when I start the week, but definitely I know it by the time I create the like title and thumbnail. But sort of serendipitously this week I started doing this self-hypnosis program again. I'm a big fan of hypnosis. I think it's really cool. I got certified once upon a time to guide people through hypnosis sessions. So I've been doing that, and that's adding a nice extra layer of mindset work, I would say, to what I'm doing here. And one thing that I'm approaching a lot, a truth that I'm visiting a lot, especially in the context of this challenge, is the idea that my efforts do not directly create my results, you know, because I think that we get this mindset a lot that it's like, if I just work harder, I will create bigger results. And that's very much like hustle culture. And I mean, it's just like blatantly untrue. Like there's so many examples in our lives, in our world, of like the people who work the hardest are not the people who create the biggest results or make the most money, you know. And you can see this it's not just if you look at like, you know, maybe people like a CEO who's making the highest paycheck might not be doing the most hours, but it's also like the people who are working really, really, really hard and burning themselves out. Some of the hardest workers that we see are, you know, making minimum wage, and it's not related to how hard they work. It's these two things, we need to sort of separate them in our minds. And I feel that that's an important lesson for me at this stage in this journey, is like, I do like the whole goal with this is for it to be sustainable, something that I'm able to do, you know, through the rest of this year and long term, which is reasonable. I think, you know, I have a maximum of 3 tasks in a day to do. Like that is reasonable. But the point is that I just am so averse to any sort of hustle culture thing, any sort of idea that's like, I just need to work. And I want to be careful with myself that I don't think, you know, I can't be successful until I have 20 books out. Like I can't start advertising, or I can't start marketing properly. I can't, whatever it is, you know, when I tie that result too strongly to my own efforts, then I end up just getting myself locked into this position where it's like I have to work harder, and I always have to work harder because, you know, the goalpost moves. So I don't know, that's just interesting thought that I'm having. It's helping me really feel great about not doing as much as I thought I was going to do this week, because maybe that can be a mindset shift there. You know, every time it's like I wasn't able to do all the things that I intended, then I can say, well, thank goodness my results do not directly depend on my efforts. Like I certainly believe that all of these efforts that I make, you know, every word that gets written, every marketing thing that goes out into the world, these are all like investing a coin into the bucket, or maybe into the slot machine, I'm not sure. And I think that interest will compound. I think things will, you know, tip over onto the other side. But I just don't want to be locking myself into the belief that I just have to do a little more, I just have to work a little harder. And if I don't do that, if I'm not able to do that, then, well, now I'm not going to have the success that I want. So I hope that that's encouraging to anyone watching this who's, on a similar journey, on a similar path. That's like, I don't know. I think it's just like so much of it is about our mindset. So much is about, sort of how life works, the world works, luck works, the universe works, whatever you want to say. Let's do our part, but not grip onto it so tightly, like everything's in my control. And if I don't succeed, it's because I didn't work hard enough, because I don't believe that's true. I've been working really hard at this for a while. And I think the most important piece is this, honestly, because it's like, I know I'm going to keep doing the other work. I really, really, really got to focus on this guy. So I hope that's encouraging. I'd love to hear how things are going for you if you're doing a similar sort of journey, and I'll be back again next week.